You know. I don't think many people expected to see Amber Heard smiling again. Not like this. Not up on a stage, looking calm, almost radiant, with people actually clapping for her. It almost feels surreal when you think about how things were not too long ago. Because let's be honest, after that trial, after the endless headlines, the social media circus, the way people were lining up to pick sides and throw stones, it felt like her career was done. Completely over. And it's not just about whether you believe she was right or wrong in that situation, it's about how hard it is to come back from being hated so loudly, by so many people, all at once. Do you remember how bad it got? Every meme, every comment section, every joke late-night hosts made. It was everywhere. The kind of thing you can't escape no matter how much you try. Imagine waking up and seeing your face plastered across every screen, but not in a good way. Every mistake you ever made being picked apart. Every word you ever said being twisted into something worse. And for months, no, actually for years, that was her life. It makes you wonder how someone even survives that. How do you find the strength to even leave the house, let alone step onto a stage and let people watch you again? And yet, here she is. It's kind of inspiring when you really stop to think about it. Because when you're at rock bottom, when everyone around you seems to have already made up their minds about who you are, it can feel impossible to start over. Like no matter what you do, people are going to keep judging you by your worst moment. And yet here she is. Standing on a stage. Performing. Smiling. That takes guts. Now here's what really fascinates me, she didn't come back through a big Hollywood blockbuster. She didn't put on some glitzy designer gown and walk a red carpet, waving to the cameras. No. She chose something completely different. Something quieter. More personal. She chose theater. And I think there's something really smart about that. Something really human about it, too. Because on stage, it's not about headlines. It's not about what Twitter thinks of you. It's just about the work. The words on the page. The audience in the seats. And you. And maybe that's exactly what she needs right now, a chance to strip everything back to what really matters. People who were there said she looked calm. Focused. Like she was really present. And I think that says a lot. Because it would have been easy for her to just disappear completely. To hide away somewhere and never be seen again. And honestly, that might have been the safer choice. Who would blame her? But instead, she's taking these quiet, careful steps forward. And that's something I think a lot of us can relate to, maybe not on the same scale, but still. Because we've all had moments where it felt like the world was against us. Where we messed up. Or where someone painted us as the villain. And we thought, how can I ever face people again? That's what makes her story feel almost universal, even though it's wrapped in all the glitz and gossip of Hollywood. She's showing us that it's possible to rebuild. Even when it feels like everyone is watching. Even when everyone seems to already have an opinion. And here's something else that really stuck out to me, the way she's been preparing for this. She hasn't just been sitting at home hoping people forget. According to people who know her, she's been putting in the work. Quietly taking acting classes. Auditioning for smaller, indie projects. Focusing on her craft instead of her image. And you know what? That's such an important reminder. Because when life knocks you down, the only way to get back up is to start small. You don't have to make a big splash. You just have to take that first step. That's what Amber is doing. And I think choosing theater instead of a big movie was actually brilliant. Why? Because theater audiences are different. They really are. They come to watch what's happening right there, right in front of them, in the moment. They're not staring at a screen where everything has been edited and filtered to perfection. They're not scrolling through endless Instagram feeds or gossip blogs, trying to catch who wore what or who said what about whom. They're sitting there in a quiet room, waiting to feel something real. That's what they come for. That raw, unpolished human connection that only live theater can give you. It's intimate. It's vulnerable. And it's honest. When an actor steps onto a stage, there are no second takes. No clever camera angles to save them. No post-production magic to make them look better. It's just them and their craft. The way they carry themselves, the way they deliver their lines, the way they fill the space with presence. And theater audiences respect that. They admire the courage it takes to bear yourself like that, to risk failure right there in the moment. That's why this choice is so powerful for Amber. If she can stand in front of those people, who only care about what's happening right then, and make them believe her, if she can earn their applause not because she's a celebrity but because she's simply good, then it could change everything. Even if the audience is small, even if it's just a modest production in a modest venue, it still matters. Because every great comeback starts somewhere small. And it could be the beginning of something much, much bigger. Because word of mouth in theater carries weight. Critics notice. Other actors notice. Casting directors notice. And little by little, it could open new doors for her, not because of her fame, but because of her work. And now here's something you might not realize, something true not just in Hollywood but in life itself. People absolutely love a comeback. They can't help it. We're wired for it. We love to see someone fall, yes, but even more than that, we love to see them get back up. We love to watch someone claw their way back when everyone else counted them out. It inspires us because deep down, it reminds us that we can get back up too. That we're not defined by our worst moments. That failure isn't the end. That's why this moment on stage could mean more than anyone realizes, because it's the first sign that maybe, just maybe, her story isn't over yet. And that's something worth watching. We all do. Think about it, how many times have we seen someone fall from grace, only to come back stronger? People love to root for the underdog. We love to see someone rise up against the odds. And I think that's because deep down, we all know what it feels like to fail. We all know what it's like to be at our lowest. To feel like no one believes in us anymore. So when we see someone fighting to get back up, it gives us hope. And that's why I think Amber might just pull this off. She's not trying to win everyone over all at once. She's not trying to shout over the noise. She's just, quietly showing up. Doing the work. And that's something we can all learn from. If you've ever felt like your mistakes define you, like people will never see you differently, just remember this. You can change the story. It won't happen overnight. People won't forget right away. But if you keep showing up, if you keep taking those small steps forward, eventually, people will see you differently. And even if they don't, you'll start seeing yourself differently. And maybe that's what really matters. Now I want to ask you something. If you were in Amber's shoes, would you have the courage to step back into the spotlight? Or would you just walk away and start a quiet life somewhere else? It's a hard question, isn't it? Because it's scary to face people when you know they're judging you. It's scary to put yourself out there again after you've been hurt. But sometimes, that's the only way to heal. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments, what would you do? And while you're here, don't forget to check out my other video about Hollywood's most shocking comebacks. Some of those stories are unbelievable, and maybe even more inspiring than this one. And hey, if you enjoyed this little chat today, it would mean a lot if you hit like and subscribe. Your support really helps keep this little community going. And it lets me keep bringing you stories like this, stories that remind us that no matter how far you fall, there's always a way back up. So thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself. And remember, you are so much more than your worst moment. See you next time.